From CBS 4 News, this is Facing South Florida with Jim DeFede.
I'm Jim DeFede, and welcome to this special edition of Facing South Florida. On November 28th, former Congresswoman Carrie Meek died in her home at the age of 95. As you will hear over the course of this show, Meek lived a life of breaking through barriers. Among the many firsts she can claim, she was the first black woman elected to the Florida State Senate and the first black woman elected to Congress from Florida. Here is a clip from C-SPAN in 1992 as they followed Meek in her first visit to Washington after she won her primary.
Congresswoman-elect Carrie Meek from Florida, why are you here in Washington before January?
I'm here to make my rounds to see exactly how Congress works.
Her achievements were all the more remarkable because of where she started in life. Her grandmother was born into slavery. Her parents were sharecroppers. As a child growing up in Tallahassee, she experienced racism every day.
You're the daughter of sharecroppers?
Yes, I am.
Turn around and look at this building. I'm wondering, do any thoughts run through your mind? You have made it to the U.S. Congress.
Yes, it's just really, I would say, a spiritual feeling to know that I come from a place that was down in the bottom from the Capitol in Tallahassee. And during the 30s, I was not allowed in that Capitol. And here I am standing on the steps of very near in the shadow of the ultimate place where the Capitol is, and that's in Washington. So that's why I say it's spiritual, and it's to me, it's very redemptive to say that I've been able, through the help of God and through the help of the people of Florida, to stand here with you, Jim, and to look at the Capitol. And it shows that the times have changed, the attitude of the country has changed, Carrie Meek has changed, and I'm really pleased to be here.
I spoke to Reverend Al Sharpton about the significance of Carrie Meek's life.
Well, Carrie Meek was the personification of a grassroots organizer who never lost the common touch and brought that feeling and that kind of passion to Washington. I've seen people throughout my journey that change when they get to Congress and get to Washington. Carrie Meek not only didn't change, she changed Washington. She made them feel the anxiety, frustration, and hopes and dreams of her constituents. So when I met with her, I did not feel like I was talking to someone who was impressed with themselves or that was there because of a title. I felt I was meeting with someone that had come to serve and wanted to know how they could be more of service and how we could synergize and get things done.
You know, there's a shorthand when you describe Carrie Meek. Her grandmother was born into slavery. Her parents were sharecroppers. Those things could have made her bitter, could have made her angry. And instead, my impression was, and I'm sure you've seen this in other cases as well, that's the fuel that drove her, was it not?
She would talk about that. She would say, I could say my parents were slaves and use that to be angry and bitter, or I can use that to say, and because they were slaves, I'm going to make them proud that I can do something. And she went to Congress with that in mind. So rather than go to Congress and indict them for slavery, which clearly the country was wrong about, she went there to say, look how much progress we can make in 2 generations. And I think that that was the type of person she was. She was so inspiring because her journey was the journey of a growth of a country that came kicking and screaming, but came there anyway.
Now, there aren't many issues where Al Sharpton and former Republican Congressman Lincoln Diaz-Balart will agree, but as I found, Carrie Meek was one of them.
You know, whenever you were with Carrie Meek, you were aware that you were in the presence of a legend. She was the personification of wisdom with love. And never in my life have I met anyone with more charisma. We served together in the state Senate. And then in 1992, we both got elected to Congress. It was there in Congress where our collaboration was most effective and I think impactful with results. We supported each other's priorities. And you know who won because of that? Our community. She was an exceptional, just ultimately respected and loving friend and human being.
You know, it's interesting. I went back and I found a 1992 C-SPAN, you know, day in the life of a member of Congress, where they followed Carrie Meek around, you know, as in October. You know, she had won her primary, you had won your primary, you were both, you know, didn't have any real opposition in November, so it was assumed that you would naturally be the Congresspeople-elect. And then it ends with her going to the CSAN studio where she sits across from you, and there's just this wonderful scene where the two of you are just sort of laughing and joking with each other and sitting across the table like good old friends.
Broadcasting.
Kathy, this is Carrie Meek.
How you doing, Kathy?
Nice to meet you.
Good
Welcome.
to be here.
Glad you
My
could
dear
join us.
friend, my dear friend.
My colleague.
We sat by each other.
That's
by
right.
each other.
In the state senate.
In the state senate.
Ah,
Sure did, Kathy.
great. And you'll be
And,
reunited in the house.
That's right.
And
Good.
she is the great orator
Now, he's saying that
of the
because
Florida
he
legislature.
He's giving it to me, Kathy, because he is. When I really want to set someone on fire, I say to Lincoln, get him, Lincoln.
I mentioned that we supported each other's priorities. And in 1998, we supported Carrie's legislation for Haitian amnesty as though it were our own. When I say we, Leanna and I, we spoke to Newt Gingrich. Think of the respect that Carrie Meek inspired. Despite the partisanship differences, Newt Gingrich supported Carrie Meek's Haitian amnesty, to a great extent made it possible. It's admirable, it's historic, the respect that Carrie Meek inspired. Unprecedented, simply extraordinary. And so in 1998, using the template of NACARA, the Haitian Refugee Fairness Act by Carrie Meek became law, and all Haitians in the United States at that time, in other words, that had arrived before December of 1995, received amnesty due to Carrie Meek. You know, Jim, Ralph Waldo Emerson's definition of success: if but one person has breathed easier because you've lived, you've succeeded. I just don't know anybody who succeeded more than Carrie Meek.
While Haiti is an abstraction for many Americans, for many of my constituents, it's their place of birth, the place of birth of their mothers and fathers, and still home to friends and family.
Cheryl Little was the head of the Florida Immigrant Advocacy Center, now known as Americans for Immigrant Justice, and she worked closely with Meek over the years. In one instance, after the 1994 coup in Haiti, dozens of Haitian American children were trapped in Haiti.
These children were in real danger. The U.S. consulate had closed. They didn't have their visas. We didn't know how we were going to get them out. I remember approaching the Congresswoman about this, and she took the bull by the horns. I mean, she fought for these children. She did everything she could to get them here, just like she'd fight for her own children. I was so impressed by it.
Little said Meek brought that same intensity to every battle she took on.
She was a no-nonsense, wicked smart woman with a huge heart who would fight like crazy to right a wrong. She used her own history as fuel to fight for justice for people who weren't getting it. And she always did it. Every time I saw her, you know, she said, "Don't worry, Cheryl. You know, we're going to do something about this. It might take a little bit of time, but we're going to get there. And I'm not going to give up." And I knew she wouldn't give up. She tirelessly fought to right a wrong. And she took on issues small and huge. And a lot of the things she took on, honestly, were really challenging. It was very hard to get other people to understand the importance of the issue and to engage in the fight that it often took to win out at the end of the day. Really, she was something else, okay? There's no question about it. No question about it. I had never, I mean, I've met a lot of, really talented politicians who care deeply about issues. I'd never met anybody like Carrie Meek. She was one of a kind.
One of her oldest friends was Eduardo Padron. Before he became president of Miami-Dade College, he was a student at what was then Dade Community College in the 1960s. And that's when he first met Meek.
I can personally tell you that Carrie Meek had a significant impact on me. I met Carrie in 1963 on my second week as a freshman student at Miami-Dade College. And she took notice of me. Maybe she detected that I was a little anxious and took interest and started asking me questions. And from that day on, I was so impressed with her that I always tried to follow what she was doing. And I don't know if you know this, but Carrie Meek was the first Black faculty member at Miami-Dade College when she joined the college in 1961. She always told me that her main concern and her major objective in life was to make sure that the working poor, especially Black people, will be entitled to pursue the American dream.
And the role that education played in that. She saw that as being fundamental, which, leads to her career in administration at Miami-Dade College, and then ultimately the school that Miami-Dade College names for her in Liberty City. Talk a little bit about how that came about.
Well, she definitely knew, basically on her own experience, that education was key to economic mobility. And she knew that the best tool that she could give her community was education and training and skills, so they could be able to pursue better opportunities for themselves and their families.
When we come back, I sit down with her son, Kendrick, in his mother's home in Liberty City. Stay with us.